25 years now, Wellington High School has been teaching and inspiring kids all over the Wellington community. Now let's go back and take a look at some of the people who are a part of the beginning of wonderful Wellington High School.
The year I started working here, the school just opened on the North Palm Beach campus. I think that was 1988.
And in 1988, we did not have this building built yet.
88, 89, we were in North Shore. It used to be an old high school, and they converted it into Wellington High School for a year while Wellington High School was being built. And then the first year we came out here was 89, 90.
What did I look like? Well, I was a lot younger. I didn't have gray hair. I had black hair. My hair was long.
I had red glasses that I called my Sally Jesse Raphael glasses. And we wore dresses to school every day with pantyhose and high heels.
Back in the 1980s, the hairstyles were a little different. Longer hair was in style, so I guess my hair was a little longer.
I'd love to say that I look like what I look like now. I had more hair, and I didn't weigh as much as I do now.
A lot younger, a lot thinner. My hair was still short though. I like short hair. It's funny because when the school first opened, I was such a formal dresser. I always wore a dress, always had on a dress and heels.
Young.
I had hair. I had a mustache. I had glasses that were half the size of my face.
We had no
This
children.
was the style then. That's right.
No children.
And no children.
This part of the building where the math, social studies, and the end of the English hallway, this part of the building wasn't here.
The roads around Wellington, we still had some dirt roads.
It started in 1994 and ended in 95. It completed a building process where they added the wings that we have now at the end of each of the 3 halls of the 200 building. That year, our yearbook theme was, "We're making the right connections."
The years since Wellington's been open, there's been expansion of the academic wings, like the 200 building. Obviously, there's been the new theater that's been put on, the new learning center across campus, which has state-of-the-art technology where you can videograph from anywhere in the world. You know, you can bring in guest presenters from any place on earth. So there's been a lot of changes in terms of the physical plant of Wellington.
The first principal at the school was Jake Sello, and he was very strict. You know, he ran a very tight ship, and he was here for 4 years. He was an excellent organizer. He was a strict disciplinarian, and his goal was to make Wellington High School achieve excellence, and he accomplished that goal.
At the time, he was the right guy to start the school. But some of the people that have come along afterwards have been the best fit.
I believe after him, then we had Dr. Mona Jensen, Sharon Iser, Mr. Montgomery, Mrs. Alligood, and then after Mrs. Alligood, Mr. Cressetti came on board.
Like people, I suppose, they started out small, then they got big, then they got smaller again. The biggest class I've ever had has been 45 students in 11th grade English. I remember my class being so huge, I don't even know what they were doing in the back row. I couldn't get back there to find out. So, I mean, it was ridiculous.
You know, kids think these hallways are pretty crowded now. Won't you see what they're like if we put another 1,400 students in there? It's pretty crowded.
There was once we had intramurals, and there was 30 intramurals all across campus. At the end of the day, you know, from 3 to 4, there'd be ping pong here, there'd be people out on the racquetball courts, people on the tennis courts. It was really cool. They had a whole intramural program.
I've become more patient with the students. When I was a young student, I was pretty hardcore and didn't have a lot of patience.
My understanding of how to teach has changed the most.
We think we're better teachers now after having kids. You know, you see what the kids go through in school, and then what they deal with when they come home. It makes you a better teacher.
Absolutely.
I think we're definitely have those sensibilities now we didn't have when we started at Wellington years ago.
Journalism has kept me at Wellington High School. I love my yearbook. I love the journalism program.
My commitment was always to guidance, and when I moved to Wellington, my family came here. My 2 children went to school here, so this has been my home community for 25 years, and there was never a need for me to leave this community.
I've just gotten comfortable here. This classroom is like my second home. I'm just comfortable here. I like it here. It's close to my home.
I like it here. I like the community. I like the student body.
I'm not a quitter. I'm going to stay until it's time for me to go. I want to leave the party while I'm having a good time, as my mother used to say.